My name is Sarah Austin. I've worked at Munich for just under 17 years. I started my career as a corporate reserving actuary. I've also done reinsurance pricing, and I currently manage our Munich International Graduate Trainee Program for the US participants. I am here today for the This Is Me campaign to talk about my neurodiversity, which for me shows up as ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, social anxiety, and intrusive thoughts. At work, when it comes to my personal neurodiversity, and it is very, very person specific, even if you meet somebody else that has any of the things I have, it might present very differently. So for me, some of the biggest challenges I would say are with the ADHD. The social anxiety and the intrusive thoughts are things that I, for the most part, have a lower frequency of them, if a higher severity. So that is more about managing them when they are present, but thankfully it's not every day. For ADHD, that one is around all day, every day. It is my constant companion, and it is everything from challenges with meetings. Those are really hard for me. A lot of my sensory processing disorder is auditory, and so what are meetings? They're people talking. If my reading comprehension is a 10 out of 10, when I understand information as I'm reading it, that's great. My auditory processing is probably about a 4 out of 10, and that's being generous. So if somebody's in a meeting and they're speaking for more than about 30 seconds, there is a good chance that if I'm not trying very, very, very hard to pay attention, that my brain is no longer listening to them. The other big ones with ADHD at work are the challenges of noise being very distracting. So I love the open office concept, all of us seeing each other, being around each other, but the smallest noises will completely snap me out of what I'm doing. And it's very, very, very hard, even if it's momentary, even if it's little, to get back to what I was doing. There's always this struggle of, oh, wait, what was I doing? That can be really, really disconcerting. I would say the last way ADHD is a very big challenge at work is with digital notifications. I think a lot of people do relate to that one too. A lot of people, even without ADHD, struggle with it, but the constant dings and messages, and you've got a message here, you've got an email there, you've got a meeting coming up, and all the noises and all the things on the literal computer screen to help you stay organized, they're really good in theory, but for me, COVID actually is what really sent me over the edge. I realized that when we were home, and it wasn't just my computer anymore, but I had every app on my phone so that it didn't matter where I was and what we were up to. I could get all the notifications I needed. I could not get anything done. Everything was distracting me all day long, and my solution for it was turning them all off. I had to talk to my boss beforehand and say, I'm going to do this really extreme thing. I'm turning off all notifications on my computer and my phone for all work applications. If you find that you can't find me, if you find that I'm missing things, tell me and I will introduce them again. And she said, okay, let's give it a shot. And you know what? It's been wonderful. As a final message for anybody watching this video series, what I hope that they recognize is that a lot of folks with disabilities are already doing a lot of the work. They're already doing a lot of work because they live with them every day. But for those that don't have the disabilities, I think my personal message to them is, as you listen to these stories, as you hopefully keep your ears open more in the future to hear from people that might not even be saying anything, but just reading between the lines and understanding maybe what they're going through, folks without disabilities need to really ask themselves and remember is, if somebody's disability makes you uncomfortable, really, really ask yourself, is it that whatever the disability is, it's manifesting itself in some way that is actually unacceptable, or is it just uncomfortable for you? And is it actually interfering with the business needs, or is it just going against your own expectations and what you are personally comfortable with? Because if it's the former, yes, this is a business. We should be very worried about that if it's interfering with the business and trying to think of ways to stop it from interfering. But if it's something that is just making you uncomfortable, I actually think that means that there's more work for you to be doing.